What's up, ladies? It's Coach Minnie K here, your virtual personal growth and mindset coach. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can keep pushing and keep grinding towards your goals, aspirations, and dreams by overcoming your own negative self-talk, negative mindsets, and really dealing with those things so you can keep pushing towards the vision that you have for your life. Let's go, ladies. All right, so before we even jump into this video, all of us can probably relate to being in a place where we feel unmotivated or we feel like there's no way we can accomplish the goals that we've set. Like, it's the 4th week of 2020, and I know that some people have already given up on their goals and aspirations already just because of probably the way you talk to yourself. So if you continue to find yourself setting goals and then getting unmotivated, setting goals and then quitting or making excuses, then this video is for you. Sis, it's not outside sources, it's not outside influences. A lot of times it's coming from within our own minds. We can sometimes be our worst critics. So how many times do you find yourself, saying, oh, I don't have enough time, or there's no way I can accomplish this. I'm never going to be able to start this business. Who's going to listen to me? I can't afford to do it. I can't afford to make my stuff look all nice like she does. When we think like that, we are putting ourselves in the position of a victim, right? Like someone did this stuff to us. But in reality, there are some things that we can do to really overcome these things that we have used as excuses to hold us back. What if you started to flip those things? All those negative things you say about yourself or the negative comments that you make about yourself, what if you really started to take inventory of your thoughts that you have on a daily basis and started to flip them? What would happen in your thinking? What would happen in your world if you started to be your #1 cheerleader? Like, if you just like, sis, you got it. You can do whatever you want to do, because we are quick to do that for other people. Pump other people up, to tell them to go for their dreams. Girl, I know you can do it. But when we have the same ability, it's kind of hard to pull that, out of us for ourselves. But it stops today. It stops today. So you're going to start encouraging yourself and being just as intentional about how you talk to others when talking to yourself. That's what we're going to do today. So if you really think about it, some of the greatest battles are fought within our own mind. Like, we don't even have to wait on other people to degrade us or to tell us that we're not good enough and we can't do those things. This is coming from the inside. And how does that impact you? It paralyzes you. It stops you from even trying or even going for it. I know, because I've been there. Like, thinking about who's gonna listen to me. I come from a small town. You have no business training teachers or training young girls. Look at you, look how you grew up. All of these things were inside of my mind, things that kind of paralyzed me. When I would have a good idea, it would just I would kind of shoot myself down like, oh. But, oh my goodness, when I say it has changed, like anything that the Lord gives me, any idea or vision that He gives me, I'm going for it. Like, simply put, like, it's happening. So it has completely changed, and it has allowed me to really go for my dreams and my goals, and even have more dreams and goals. Forget about outside sources. We're talking about you, how you talk to yourself, how you think about yourself, how you encourage yourself, how you discourage yourself. Sticks and stones, they do hurt. Like, seriously, they can impact you, but not as much as you can impact yourself and what you tell yourself. So the way you talk to yourself has a greater impact on the way that you go about life, the way you move in this world, the way you go after things. And when you develop that mindset, because it doesn't always happen, you don't just come out of the womb with that mindset. We come out wanting to please people, wanting people to like us, wanting to feel accepted. But how many of you can keep going when your spouse doesn't believe in you, or when your best friend doesn't believe in you, your mom or your dad doesn't believe in you? That comes from you believing in yourself. When I cut all my hair off the first time, like, my dad was like, oh, you need to get some weave. Now, I love my weave, but this was something that I had to do for myself because, I had to learn how to love myself. So even though people didn't agree with it, I had to dig deep and do this for myself. Like, this is what I'm doing. I love me with long hair, with short hair, with dreadlocks, with weaves, whatever it is. I love myself with or without it. And that was something I had to gain because I was used to, I guess, judging myself or loving myself based on how much other people love me or how much other people accept me. Not anymore, sis. And that's where you have to get in order to develop this mindset of believing in yourself and confidence. It comes from within. I'm telling you, it comes from within. Or when you just start to develop this identity that you have of yourself, the opinion or the idea that people have about you outside of yourself, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, sometimes it might strike a nerve or bother you a little bit, but you get over it because it's like, you don't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. What I'm doing is intentional and I'm living my life because I have a plan for it. So what other people say, it starts not to matter as much when you start to believe in yourself and develop your identity deep down within for yourself. It starts with believing in yourself. Not waiting on other people to believe in you, but you believing in yourself. So as we start to do this internal work and we start to work on ourselves, when you're alone, when you're not with other people, how are you feeling inside your mind? Like in your mind, how do you feel about yourself? Are you okay going to the movies by yourself, going to a restaurant by yourself? You know, when you just, vibing by yourself at the house, chilling out, or you may be single and you're living your life, by yourself. No kids, it's just you. How do you feel in your own mind when it comes to yourself? Are you thriving? Are you like out here trying to make things happen, trying to create a life that you want for yourself? Or do you feel incomplete, like something is missing, as though, you need this other person or this approval or validation in order to make you feel better or to give you a sense of purpose and value? How are you feeling in your mind? How do they impact you? The way you talk to yourself, oh, I'm not this. Do you feel yourself shrinking? Or are you thinking thoughts about yourself that push you to do better, that motivate you, that have you thinking about how you can improve yourself? How do these thoughts make you feel about yourself? Those thoughts in your head, they're gonna determine your action, right? And your actions determine your behavior. Your behavior is gonna soon be how people perceive you and your persona and your personality. So all these thoughts are going to play into your life one way or another. So I want you to be mindful of that. What are these thoughts that you have? What kind of attitude do they provoke? Are you one of those people who really need other people to tell you how to live your life, to give you approval and validation? Is that what makes you who you are? Is that what makes you feel good about yourself when other people say good things about you? Or can you find it internally? Can you go within yourself and find that same joy and happiness? Sidebar, this is something that did not really happen for me until I started to really, improve my relationship with Christ. Like, I've been going to church my whole life, getting preached at, getting preached to, and would go home and not really apply it. Be excited and fired up when I'm at church, but when I get home, I'm unmotivated again because life doesn't look like all this glamour that I saw here and wanted here, right? But when I started to apply that word to my life, and I started to make better decisions, which gave me more peace, I was able to function better. And I think God was able to communicate with me better and start to show me who He had intended for me to be. So if that is you, if you're in a place where you don't know where you are, you're not sure who you're supposed to be, one of the things I would recommend is you trying to tap into who God has called you to be. If you are a believer of Christ, like tap into that. This Bible is here for a reason, and it's so much stuff in there to kind of keep us on track and show us how we need to navigate life, that if you are feeling lost, it's an easy way. I won't say easy, but it's a good way to start getting a firm foundation and to start getting a good path for you to go on. Okay, that's my little Jesus moment. Back to these thoughts that we have, right? A lot of time we don't take the time to get to know ourselves enough to know that these thoughts are trying to communicate something to us. When we have thoughts about ourselves and they make us feel sad, or we feel lonely, there were times where I would drink, or I would always want to be at someone else's house, with a group of friends, going to the club, spending money that I didn't really have, doing all these things to kind of numb those voices or those thoughts that I was having, by having a good time and just not really dealing with what was going on in me and in my mind. So a lot of people try to avoid those things by drinking. You're having some thoughts that you don't really want to deal with, which is keeping you from being able to have that peace. Some of the ways that we try to drown out those thoughts is like staying busy on social media, putting other people down. Oh, if I buy all these nice things, then I'll feel good about myself. Oh, if I drink and I smoke, I'll feel good about myself. If I hang out with this certain person, I'll feel good about myself because they feel good about themselves. If I date this person, or I have so much sex that, I know this guy loves me because I'm sexing him, that'll make me feel good. But in reality, none of that works because you're trying to fill a void that cannot be filled with those things. So let me encourage you to do something different. For me, that thing was my faith. but you find something else. Deal with those feelings and those thoughts that you're having to kind of figure out your identity and who you are. This is going to help you with the vision for your life and the vision that God has for you. Then some people just keep it all inside. They act like they're okay, but they're really not okay. They never discuss, you know, the thoughts that they're having. They just try and avoid even dealing with them. Like, this is normal. This is a normal part of life for them. If that's you, I would encourage you to talk to a friend, to talk to a counselor, talk to a therapist. See someone to kind of help you get clarity on who you are and what's missing from your life. Like, we need more of that. It is so important for us to examine our thoughts. Like, why am I thinking like this? Why am I feeling like this? What just triggered me feeling anxious? What thought did I just have to make me go from being happy to being sad all of a sudden? Those are times for you to think. Your body is trying to communicate something to you, so think about those feelings and where they're coming from. Is there an element you need to add to your life, or is there something that you need to eliminate from your life, like certain people or certain habits or whatever it may be? So you have to think deep, long, and hard about that for yourself. The one thing I want you to get from this video is that these thoughts that you're having, these mindsets, like all this stuff is coming from within. So in order for us to identify some goals and push towards goals, we have to deal with ourselves first, or else you're gonna be on a roller coaster. Excited, unmotivated, excited, unmotivated. These thoughts in your mind are gonna keep you from really going for your goals and dreams. So deal with them. Sometimes these feelings that we have are fear, right? You have to identify the lie. Yeah, I'm afraid, I'm intimidated to put myself out there, but why? You know what I'm saying? I have what it takes to do it, so why am I afraid? That's one that you gotta knock down. Or, you know, it could be one that's like, hey, you know you're lying, you know you're being hypocritical right now, so I might need to listen to that one and consider that a truth and then, you know, just not do it. So what are the truths and the lies behind these feelings that you're feeling? And if they are lies, you have to pull them down, you have to get rid of them and keep moving forward. So to end this video, ladies, I just want to encourage you to be yourself. Like, stop trying to be like someone else. And it's hard because sometimes that's what we know, that's what we've done all of our lives. We watch videos, we watch TV, we watch YouTube, and we want to be like these people so much to the point where we don't even have our own identity, which becomes a problem. So I want to encourage you ladies today to take control of your mind. Take control of your mind, because you have the ability to do what you want to do, but your mind will stop you. It will convince you that you don't. So when you start feeling yourself being convinced that you can't go for your dreams and can't go after your goals, that's when you need to do a mind check, a mental check, and get yourself together and keep pushing. It is going to be extremely hard to take on this new mindset of positivity, you know, and to start believing in yourself if you don't get anything else in your mind. Romans 12:2 says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what is that good and perfect and acceptable will of God. That sounds like to me that I need to know what's right and what's wrong, and I need to get some more things in my mind to push out all that stuff that's wrong in order for me to start living this life that, you know what I'm saying, that is right, and it's gonna get me the life and the outcome and the results that I want. So ladies, go ahead, start renewing your mind and start putting some new positive things in your mind in order to get you where you want to be. If you still need help getting your mind right, that is what your girl, Coach Winnie K, is here for. You can check out my website at www.purposefullyguided.co, or you can check out my free podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any other podcast host, and that is the Woman Intentionally podcast. It's packed with all type of information and just motivation that you can listen to while you drive in your car to work, while you clean the house, while you work out, whatever it is, sis. Find a way to get some positivity in your life. I offer one-on-one coaching services where it is designed specifically for you, and you can check that out on my website as well. Ladies, have a great